Hello, and welcome back to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. This is episode 35. Today, we're going to talk about when you're not reaching your goals and feeling frustrated. When you're feeling frustrated, have you ever noticed that your brain just wants to be negative? It wants to loop in the I can't, or this is too hard, or I'm always this, or I'm never this. Today, I'm going to give you 10 questions to ask yourself when your brain is wanting to hijack you and keep you in that negative state. Hang on, grab a pen and paper, and let's get to it. Are you ready to feel less stressed, overwhelmed, and anxious? Do you wish you could be crazy confident in your ability to take on life's challenges? The Crazy Confidence Coach podcast is the go-to podcast for understanding and building self-esteem and confidence. You may be surprised how easy it is to make small life changes that add up to give you more confidence and create big results. If you have fear, anxiety, or overwhelm, that's okay, because we will talk about how you can stop letting it hold you back. Every person I know has struggled with confidence in some area of life. What area of life do you know you need to build more confidence? I promise you are not alone. I'm here to help you bridge that gap between who you are and who you want to be. Don't miss a single episode. You never know when a tip or trick that is shared will be your next big breakthrough. Have you ever been frustrated with not reaching your life goals? Or maybe it's just a situation in your life that is reoccurring and frustrating you. Let me tell you, I've been going through it. Recently, I had a situation happens to be reoccurring throughout my life since probably college age, and I really hadn't identified it that way actually until after speaking to a friend of mine who also happens to be a coach. She was asking me questions to help me see this situation differently, and I was really shocked and surprised because my mindset and the way I was thinking about it was so stuck. And ironically, I work super hard on my mindset and brain work and how I think about things. I believe it's one of the most valuable things you can do, so I spend a lot of time with it. And I was completely shocked how stuck I was in this particular situation. Once she asked me some questions to get me out of my normal thought pattern with this specific situation, I had so many mind-blowing epiphanies about this particular thing, and I recognized how the way I was thinking about it was reintroducing itself over and over and over in my life with different people. Even as I'm speaking right now, it shocks me, and maybe one day I'll talk about exactly what it was, but it was super eye-opening for me. I have been able to do a lot of soul searching around it, and I firmly believe it's going to completely change the way I show up. This is a perfect example of how questioning yourself in a different way can help you think differently about a situation. So today, I'm going to give you 10 questions that you can ask yourself when you find yourself in that situation of just being frustrated about where your goals are going or not going, or if you just feel frustrated in general and need something to pull you out of that frustration. Because when you are frustrated, what do? We just get stuck in the negative part of it. I can't, I never, this will never happen, it always happens. Whatever those negative thoughts are, typically you just get stuck in the loop and never get out of it. Here are 10 questions that you can ask yourself that will potentially pull you out of that negative, stuck place. Number 1. Is there another way to think about this? Seems very simple, I know, but is there another way to think about the problem or your goal or how you're looking at it? Just stepping out of it and looking at it in a different way. It's a very simple question, but your brain asking that question will go to work for you to figure out if there's another way. Number 2, What skills or resources do I need to be more effective? Is there something that you're lacking in, like a skill or a resource that you need to be more effective? I will tell you, with my podcasting journey, I had to learn a lot of skills and I had to dip into a lot of resources because I wasn't technology strong and I needed to learn how to post a podcast, how to record, how to edit. Even though I can outsource that, I still wanted to know how to do it, and it required me spending the time to learn the skill. So, number 2, what are skills or resources do I need to be more effective? Number 3, am I celebrating my small wins and acknowledging small growth? Small wins are often passed up, especially if you're type A and you are so goal focused. Not reaching your goals may feel like you haven't accomplished anything at all. So one good solution for that is acknowledging the small things and acknowledging the small growth that you have to help you feel good about you're going in the right direction. So for me, obviously, I still don't know everything about podcasting, and I am still learning about email and funnels and all of those things, but I am so impressed with myself for learning how to get on Podbean and publish an episode and edit an episode and do the auditing in Audacity and all those things. All those things are small wins to me, and I keep having to give myself a pat on the back because I'm making small growth. It doesn't feel great. My business is nowhere near where I want it to be, but guess what? All those little wins will add up to my ultimate goal. Number 4, what personal strengths have helped me get this far? How can I leverage them a little bit more to get to where I want to be? This is another one that is interesting because you have to be introspective and you have to have confidence enough in yourself to acknowledge your personal strengths. But if you are someone who is sitting there right now and thinking, I don't have any personal strengths, I'm going to shake my little finger at you and say that's not true and tell you, yes, you have personal strengths. Really think about, what do people come to you for? What are the things that you're known for? What are you good at? What do you feel good at doing? What do you feel like, oh, I got this? Think about those personal strengths and how have they helped you get where you are today? And then can you use them to leverage yourself more to get to another level, to get toward your goal? Number 5, what daily habits or routines are contributing to your success? Which ones might be holding you back? All right, this one's kind of fun and it may not be fun for some of you, but daily habits are so important. They are so important. There are coaches out there that only focus on daily habits. Think about, what do you do every single day that is a habit or a routine that is contributing to you and how you're succeeding or how you're not succeeding? Let's say you get out of bed at noon every day and you're not doing the work you need to. Or let's say at work you walk around and talk to everybody the first 2 hours of work instead of sitting down at your chair and getting done what you need to get done. If that's holding you back, how can you switch that around and make going around to talk to everybody at the end of the day after you've already accomplished your task? Number 6, how am I nurturing my physical, emotional, and mental well-being to stay energized and focused? All goals, all life experiences need your physical, emotional, and mental well-being to be the best you, right? So if you are not taking care of yourself physically and you're not taking yourself emotionally or mentally, then you're going to have a really hard time showing up energized and focused. If you're tired throughout the day and you're drinking caffeine instead of drinking water, you're going to be dehydrated and you're not going to be able to sit at your desk and do the work you need to do. So it's not really difficult, but it's one of those things that we often miss in not reaching our goals and being frustrated. If you're not physically, emotionally, and mentally there, you're going to have a hard time staying focused. Number 7, what is my dirt? If you've heard my past episodes, you know that DIRT is my own acronym. It's something I create and I use with my clients. What are your doubts? What are your insecurities? your resistance, and your triggers. That spells dirt, doubts, insecurities, resistance, and triggers. Because the dirt is where you've got to get in there and get it all, fertilized and taken care of. And if you don't have good dirt and you don't have the foundation, the soil, then you will never blossom. You're never going to have the good stuff happen because all of those things will hold you back. Are these things getting in the way of your progress? If you have doubts, insecurities, resistance, and triggers that you are not dealing with, I guarantee you they're getting in your way. The one thing that I can tell you 100% works is coaching. Go to thecrazyconfidencecoach.com or hcedwardscoaching.com and grab your free discovery call. If you have not dealt with your doubts, insecurities, resistance, and triggers, I guarantee you they're getting in your way of your progress. Just like this thing I just discovered, it's getting in the way of the way I'm interacting with a particular group of people. This has been going on in my entire life, and I had no clue that the way I was showing up, this way of being protected. And so I 100% believe that this little thing that we figured out is going to change the way that I show up and how I experience the world because I was able to identify it. I'm working through it, and I will be beyond it probably in the next couple months, 100%, and it will change my life. So it will do the same for you if you deal with whatever those things are. Number 8, is there someone in your support network that you can reach out to that will give you encouragement, advice, or feedback? Oftentimes when we are going for goals or we have things that we are trying to do, we want to do them on our own, or maybe we feel like we have to do them on our own. Whatever the case is, you don't have to be alone. You don't have to do it alone. Find a friend, a family member to give you encouragement, advice, or feedback. One thing I will tell you is that whatever you're needing from that support network, be clear with them. Do you need encouragement? Do you want advice? Or do you want feedback? Number 9, what is one bold step you can take today to move closer to your goal? Every single one of us, when we are working toward a goal, has a little sliver of us that we hold back. What can you do to step out boldly to take action to move closer to the goal, even though you have the fears and doubts? How can you put them on the shelf and do that bold thing anyway? Number 10, how can you connect with the vision that you have toward your goal on a daily basis? How can you connect with your vision so it helps you stay motivated and energized? That is going to depend on you and what is motivating for you and what is your vision. Like if your vision is a big vision, then you may really have to spend time connecting each day with that vision. If it's something simple like getting up every day and having a workout for 15 minutes, maybe it's just putting some fun music as your uplifting music as your alarm clock. Maybe it's that simple because that music gets you going. Maybe it's quiet time with your prayer time or your motivation to get quiet, to get connected to what God wants you to do every day as a CEO. Whatever it is, you've got to make sure that you connect every single day with that vision to keep your brain engaged and keep you energized and motivated. Frustration is everywhere. It's for all of us. We all have it. We all experience it. We all have to learn how to deal with it. And oftentimes we don't even realize that we're in that loop of negativity with something. And like I said, that one situation I have that's been going on for years for me, it blew my mind when I finally saw it by asking myself different questions around it. I've always kept it to myself, actually didn't even know I needed to talk to anybody about it. And this particular time, I decided to talk about it. We were asking questions around it and blew my own mind. So the next time you're really frustrated about something, step back and ask yourself different questions that will allow your brain to let go a little bit of that frustration. It will help your brain come up with different answers, which most likely will give you a different result. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. And don't forget to go check out thecrazyconfidencecoach.com for a free discovery call or your first coaching session today. Thank you so much for joining me. Would you do me a huge favor? Will you share this podcast with 3 people you think might find the podcast helpful? To be totally honest, I have yet to meet one person who doesn't have at least one area of their life that couldn't use a crazy confidence boost. Hey, if you want to fast track your crazy confidence journey, let's hop on a call and figure out what's holding you back. Maybe you are struggling with feeling overwhelmed or feeling like you aren't enough. Do you want a big raise and don't know how to ask for it? Or are you just tired of feeling insecure with friends or your spouse? Whatever you're struggling with, I can help you. Go to www.thecrazyconfidencecoach.com to schedule your free discovery call today. Hope to see you here next week. Love you big.